Okay, cool. So number one, most important thing is that before anything gets turned on, we plug everything in. We arrange all the equipment, all the speakers, the amplifiers, the input devices, the microphones. We get them all plugged in. Because once they're plugged in, we're not going to be like pulling plugs out and creating pops or anything. So once it's plugged in, the first thing that goes on is the mixer and the amplifiers. So first the mixer comes on. There's a switch in the back here, which we can see from the inside. On. Power on. So once it's on, we're going to be seeing a little light, and it'll be light that says power. We're going to use two different channels. Channel 8 for the microphone, which has a single 1/4-inch plug, and this small 1/8 inch to 2 1/4-inch plugs for channels 15 and 16 to take left and right from an input device like a laptop or an iPhone or a phone or something. And we're going to use these two channels, and then we mix together using this mixing board into a main mix. The main level is controlled here at the end with the main mix, and the level for each channel is controlled in each channel line. So what the really important lesson with not blowing your speakers out, not driving the sound too far, not making it too loud, is to try to keep all of your levels, the individual channels in the main mix, at or below unity, the little U sensor unity. So keep them at or below unity. If you have to drive them a bit further, that's okay, but know that the further you go, the higher the risk of starting to damage the speakers. So try to keep it unity if you can. And probably, if it's not getting loud enough, you need to get a better amplifier. The amplifier needs to have more power and is able to drive the speakers further. That's the goal. Okay, so now we showed where the inputs get mixed into the mixer. Here's the microphone set up on a stand. The mixer's main outputs back here, the left and right outputs, are being connected to our speakers. Omni B and this other Omni cable are connected to the left and right speakers. It's the audience perspective of which is left and which is right. This one's left and that one's right. So these are connected to an amplifier. So the mixing board is running the XLR cables, waiting for signal from the amplifier. The amplifier then is, the mixer is sending a signal to the amplifier from the amplifier using the XLR cables left and right, and then sending those two channels. I don't know if we can get more light on the situation.
Yeah, we should get more light.
And then using those two channels actually amplifies the signal and sends the signal out on these two connectors, these two cables, to our left and right speakers. So this one's right and this one's left, top L, top R. So all we're going to do now is, since the soundboard is on, there's a switch in the front of this amplifier. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to check the back, and I'm going to see these little volume knobs and see if they're turned up where they're turned up to. So right now they're turned up low, and I'm going to turn them on to like just a little bit so that they're flat, basically. So I'm going to turn them up, and if I have to, I can always adjust these amplifier volume knobs to turn them up more. Ideally, they kind of stay the same and they stay fairly low and you don't have to do much. So that's the basic setup. That's it.
Cool.
So let's test it out and make sure that it works.